Good day, everyone. Welcome to UNIBEN Podcast, second edition. I'm your host, Successful Inegbedion, aka the Media Doctor. And today we are going to be taking you on a very conversational topic: students' involvement in business, personal growth, and development. And I cannot do this alone, so I have amazing guests in person of Gates from BMS, the PRO of BAMSA. You're welcome, sir. And I also have with me, I called her Senator Gift, but she later addressed it. No, she's a member of University of Benin, the alumni body, and so we do call her Senator. She is Miss Gift Osage. She's a project manager, an entrepreneur, brand specialist. Am I correct?
Right.
That she's into anything that deals with growth, business, creativity. So, Miss Gift, I'll first like to ask you, what's your stance in what do you refer to as creativity in your own term? What's creativity?
All right. First of all, let me introduce myself again.
Okay.
Permit me to introduce myself. My name is Gift Osage. I was once in the UNIBEN parliamentary section, what's it called? UNIBEN parliament. So that was why I was addressed as senator. But please, I'm not in politics now, so don't put me on a high job. So, answering your question about creativity, I'll say creativity is not actually something new. Creativity is what has been existing and you building on what has been existing in
Hmm.
your own unique way. That is creativity. So whenever you're talking about creativity, don't imagine it to be something new because there's nothing new under the sun. So you maybe for example, I will use fashion designing as an example. You're a fashion designer. You can be in that field and you're doing something creative. It doesn't mean fashion designing started today or you started fashion designing. But you being in that space and doing something uniquely in your own way, you can come up with stuff that makes your brand unique. And that is you being creative. So creativity is not something new, it's you building your own niche in a unique way that defines whatever you're doing. So that's creativity for me.
Thank you very much. That was a wonderful opinion from you. And to you, Mr. Gates from BMS. I remember one certain time you were taking a class on creative writing. You were invited as a guest speaker, and you're also the PRO to faculty. That's BAMSA, right? So I would like to ask, how are you able to reflect your creative stance from the writing to the public speaking? How are you able to melt everything down into your PRO duties?
Okay, I'm the PR because of this. When I was campaigning, I would always say, "Oh, I'm a writer, I'm a public speaker." In my manifesto, my public speaking came to play when I was campaigning my publication because I became popular in BMS for writing. I had a weekly tabloid that I always release. So now that I am the public relations officer, my constitutional duties are all around this managing media, managing communications, and faculty. So, creativity for me, I believe that it has to do with uniqueness. There have been past PROs, they've done excellently well, they've been exceptional, exquisite. But then I'm coming and I say, I want to follow my own route. I want to set my own standards. That doesn't mean that those that have come before were not creative.
True.
But my own line of creativity is different. Now I can do heaven and earth, and then the next PRO that comes, he does his own, he goes into his own niche of creativity, and he's also phenomenal. So what I think creativity plays in my duty as PRO is just uniqueness as it is, doing things that have not been done before or doing them better. One of the things I'm working on currently is the FAMSA debate and book club. It's never been done, but I'm somebody who I like to speak, I like to read, I like to write. We are medical students, but I still want to create a platform for this because I believe that creativity is not enclosed.
True.
Anywhere you are, creativity allows you to explore. So that's what I believe. And that's what I take into play as a public relations service out.
Thank you. That was a very wonderful opinion from your side. I can see you have vast knowledge of what you do. And I would also like to direct this to you, Miss Gift Sagi. As a Bachelor of Arts from mass communication department. I believe you are quite informed when it comes to communication, the branches of communication, public relation, advertising, and everything. Now, at the same time, you're a project manager. I was like, wow. I was wowed.
I'm in awe too,
So, same with you. So I want to know what's what kind of business do you think students can venture into while in school? Or do you believe there's no room for them to participate in business?
No, that's not true because I will always say don't allow your life to start after school. While in school, you should be thinking of business to start. You should be thinking of what to do, what next, right? So, me being a project manager, from right from time, I've always been a person, people-oriented person. I always like to organize stuff. I always like to be in a gathering where things are done, right? So I saw that aspect of my life at where I can actually pitch my tent and create a career out of it, right? So that's why I went into project management in full when I was out of school. So as a student, you should not limit yourself. Even being in school, you can create a market for yourself. Being in school is already a market because students, you cannot go a day without eating. Students like
Definitely.
fancy things. They like anything new. So if you are somebody that's smart, you can sit down and study the school markets. You can start up something in terms of making food. You can start up something in terms of selling clothes. You can start up anything creative that you know that students are going to buy. Because you being in school, you already have an audience. What is marketing? Marketing is you defining your audience and having proximity to sell. So you being in school, you already have an audience. So as a student, I will encourage you to not start your life after school. Plan what you want to do. You can start up something. Make use of, and I will even say that mass communication students are more privileged in the sense that you are studying communication, and and business is all about communication. How to communicate effectively with your clients, how to communicate effectively with your buyers. So you have the privilege or you have the edge to win when you're doing anything when relating to business. So I will encourage students to start up something in school. Make sure that you have what it takes, and which you already do, communication to sell. So don't limit yourself. There are some students that will tell you their parents are funding their bills. You should not depend only on your parents. Start up something. Engage in activities that you know will earn you money. If you think you don't want to go into business, you can learn a skill. People are
Hmm.
making money from graphics.
Yeah, skills are
What's
now
it called
more.
now?
Yeah.
Yeah, graphic designing, content creation, social media marketing, management. So these are things you can engage in as a student to earn money and also study. Then after school, it will be much more easier for you to thrive.
I think regarding your response to my question, I've been thinking as a student of BMS, you are basically medical practitioners in the making. How are you now able to like is writing, public speaking, content
Content
creation relevant
creation.
in your field too?
I get this question a lot because always right from my 100 level, people be like, "Kids, you are everywhere. Kids, you are everywhere." But besides passion, which is one core drive, intentionality, I struggle with time management a lot. But since I became PRO, one thing that I always tell myself is, if your grades were here and now you've gone into politics, then mistakenly come here. Even if you were sick when you wrote that exam, the reason that your grades drops is because of politics. Yeah. That's what they would say. That's true. That's true. Yes. So, in as much as yes, I'm everywhere. UNIBEN 5 aside is coming up, and BMS will be playing on Saturday. I have to be there. There's another engagement. I have to be there. It's all about synergy. How can I make everything work? Plan your time. There's time when I want to write. My passion for writing has grown, but then, in addition to my passion, another thing that drives me when writing is money. Because when I'm writing and then I know that, okay, after I finish this job, I'm getting money, I want to enjoy my life too, in addition to everything I'm doing. So whatever it
Actually,
is
it's
that you
very
think
important.
will drive you, some people say, oh, let money not be your driving force. See,
Money is a motivator.
it
Don't let anybody
is
Very
deceive you.
important.
Money is a
It is.
motivation.
very, very important. Very, very. Sometimes writer's block would want to come and I'll be like, I can't write. But I'll think, if I don't send this job today, this client can say instead of paying me $5 or $10, they will not say, okay, I'm going to reduce it because you did not keep to time. And it's also part of your branding because if you can keep to time and you are efficient in all areas, today they'll call you and say, okay, I need you to do this, I need you to do this. So it's all about you finding balance in everything. And I'm very glad in BMS, I'm in the nursing department. I love that as a nurse, I get to interact with patients, not just come in, go out. Interaction. And interaction is something I love to do. So when I go to the hospital, the clinical setting, I'm still doing what I love. So I'll just say, find what you love. Be intentional about it. And have a driving force. That thing that drives you. I promised BAMSIZE that I'll be the best PRO you have. And then every single day, I go through, because I have a list of all the things I plan to do.
To-do list.
Yes. I go through everything and I say, this one, oh, I have to do this one, I have to do this one. When I was campaigning, I'll tell Bams, I say, hold my neck if you see me on the road if I don't do these things. And then after promising like that, I would not want to fail them or fail myself. So sometimes, even if you think, oh, I don't think I can do this anymore, remember that there are people rooting for you and there are people looking up to you. Many times people will say, Gates, the way you are doing it, I don't know, but I want to be like that. Imagine me now flopping. What will I tell these people? So find your drive. That's just what I'm going to say. And it has pushed me. So I believe that everybody has that unique thing in them that drives them. So once you find it, you're good to go. Smooth.
Wow. I just learned a lot from you.
Remember.
Yes, just within few minutes, I can tell you my daughter is full because wow, such an amazing perception. Thank you very much. Now I would like to take another question to you, Miss Gift. Sorry, I want to be quite I might stretch into your private life, but at the same time, it's all to advise students who are rooting for you and at the same time want to be like you. So while in the school system, while doing what you love, while being into creativity, project management, and the rest, are you able to like have a romantic life? Were you able to like interact with opposite
This is
sex?
interesting.
Were you
It is actually.
were you able to think think out of like I don't know, were you able to just interact with the opposite sex, not for project management sake,
Okay, do
neither
you
is it
mean
for
having a
business.
relationship?
Yes,
Just be
and I
straight.
don't. I'm trying so much to be very. I don't want to be so direct, but at the same time, I'm curious because you're a very beautiful lady, which we are quite aware of.
Yes, so
Thank
Am I
apparently,
lying? So most times, I believe they will have been walking up to you to ask you, are you interested? Are you understand? So how are you able to manage these things? Is it that you chase them off? Is it that you convert them into business practitioners?
You're already
Or
answering the question, so I don't think
I
there's any need for
no, but at
me.
the same time, we still have people who want to be like you, or rather are already trying to or are in this same situation. So what advice do you have for them?
Okay, like Gates said, balance. There's need for balancing, and another thing is prioritizing because at every point in time, at every point in your life, there is what needs to come first. So I would say when I was in school, I was not in a relationship, and I'm not saying being in a relationship was bad, right? So, but my kind of person, I am easily distracted, or rather, let me put it this way: I tend to put all my energy, my mind, my time into whatever I'm doing, and I found out that I'm the kind of person if I should be in a relationship it's either I'm slacking in whatever I'm doing or I'm not giving that attention to the person that I'm with, right? So I don't think I was able to balance my relationship life with whatever I'm doing. That's why I just abstain, right? But if you are the kind of person, you're a student, you think you can balance both relationship and academics and at the same time work, that's perfect. You can actually go for it. But for me, what I would say is that prioritize. You know what you're doing. As a student, I think your agenda or the very first thing that should be in your what's it called now, your goal, the first goal is for you to graduate and to do that well. Like I said, there are some persons that can balance these three together, being in a relationship, being a student, and also being in business, right?
Yeah.
So if you feel you can balance the three, go on, right? But you should know your priority. You know what should come first. As a student, you want to graduate with good grades, right? And you're also chasing your business. So all these things requires time, it requires your mind, it requires your focus. So, but if you feel as a student you can balance the three, you could go for a relationship. Like you said, there were a lot of persons coming in,
Yeah,
and not just very good persons that,
Yeah.
oh, I actually catched feelings, but I still have to put out what am I doing, what do I want to achieve. Is relationship my priority now? So that made me decide, okay, this is what I want. So later on, there are some of them that I'm still in good terms with, and they are not even business partners. Some of them are now very good friends of mine. So not accepting them or being in a relationship with them did not stop me communicating or socializing with them. So whatever it is you're going to do, having your relationship life, your academic life, your business life, if balancing can come in and prioritizing can come in, trust me, you can be able to define what you want at every point in time.
That's a very vast. She touched everything.
Everything.
Even the
Relationship is so
questions in my
complete.
mind I wanted to ask, you just touched and gave answers to each and every one of them. But now speaking of relationship, are you in a relationship?
If I say I'm in a relationship now, Bam says you drag me from now to tomorrow. They will not let my life rest. But right now, no. Because there's a lot of, like she said, prioritizing. From my business to politics to schoolwork and some other things I'm doing. I'm not just in BAMSA and I'm not just schooling. I also have other areas that I work. So if I should bring that in, well, that one night, and I say, do you still like me? Do you still like, I've been trying to meet you, that kind of thing. So, but the time will come. So definitely, there are many people. People will keep coming. They'll keep coming. But like she said again, I have to emphasize on that because she made a very strong and valid point there. Prioritize. So right now, my priority is not that aspect, but we'll get there.
If you were within the school community or you were quite informed about the school community as at, I think, is it 3 months ago? When was your election?
Election, it was in January.
January. Okay, I think 3 months ago. You would have heard about gates of BMS. It was I think there was one particular campaign strategy he used.
I know where this is going.
It
It's
was
like I'm going to bring you on board so you can join
it
my
was
team.
I
Oh my
think
goodness.
his legs were flying on the air. I don't know
the number of
it
nicknames I
was
got,
so it was
flying gates,
he even
everything.
became more popular than the student union body as at then. I thought he was running for SCG position
Most people thought,
until I heard he was going for a faculty position, and I was like, God, who does that?
you see how
That's
Gates
a
was
very
so
good
popular
strategy.
that
right?
I myself, despite I was off the social media as at that time, I still heard about Gates. They were like, have you heard about Gates? Gates was like, I even thought he was the son to the VC because he was so popular as at then.
Oh,
Then I had to
yeah.
be in touch with him and say, who's this Gates? Then I interacted with him. I discovered he was a very easygoing person. And so now where relationship comes in now is that I feel you must have built relationship with people before you were able to
Oh, yes.
campaign that's wild, and the kind of love you had from people were just reposting saying Gates, please vote for Gates. If you love me, vote for Gates. I was like, who is this Gates? So
No,
what was your strategy?
it's very interesting and more
Okay.
interesting because when I won the position, won the election, people were reaching out to me and I didn't even know them and they were like, I was campaigning for you behind your back. I was campaigning for you. And little things matter. When I started this, I didn't expect it to blow. Because you see that flying picture that went viral? I had it in my phone, I think early 200 level, and I'm in 400 now. It has just been there. If someone had told me that this picture is what will make you blow in UNIBEN, I would have just said, nah, But then I started getting calls. And then people, like you said, people were surprised. And then some people were like, oh, you're going for president. And then I'll say PRO. And they say, PRO. One thing I want to change is, you see the position of PRO. I think it's one of the most vital positions in any organization or any. And people have downgraded it so much. They think, oh, you are going for PRO, just post one flyer and then that's all. I was going for PRO and I wanted my campaign to stand out. That when you see my campaign, you will say, the PR for this campaign, true, this person wants to be PRO. People said, Gates, we know your capacity, why not go for president? If I wanted to go, I would have, or I could have. But I wanted to do something that I knew once I go there, this is my niche. And I'll do it well. I'm not going there for the position. I'm going there for the impact. So I expected this to come up. Then I posted one flying picture. That's the one I had long ago. And then it boom, it went everywhere. Then the
I think I
day
still have that flying picture.
there are even stickers of it.
I will definitely send
There are
it to
even
you.
stickers of it. And then a day to the election, I said, okay, since people have been talking about this one, let me drop one last bomb. And that night, God, the number of contacts that I had to save, because people were like, we've been seeing you, we are rooting for you. People from across UNIBEN, different faculties, different leaders, past leaders, they were like, we have seen your campaign. A lot of people meet me and they'll be like, Giz, we are waiting to see what you want to do in BMSO. And that's another driving force because it's not only BAM sites that have been let down. People have seen me, and then I was saying, okay, I will fly, and my name was also another thing that caused a lot of controversy. Gates, Gates, are you Nigerian? Gates, which kind of name is that? So first of all, they see the name and they're like, Then they see that all my pictures, my legs are not touching the ground. They say, people are like, you are editing this thing. I said, no, I'm not editing it. And they'll be like, the way I'm flying in this picture, that's how I want Bamsa to fly. They'll be like, hey! But that's the fun of it. And I like that. The campaign that I thought was just little. And let me tell you one fun fact, 10. I've been building myself from 100 level. Not for politics. But just, I was a very shy person. And I thought I would be shy when I get into school. But then at some point, I started going to activities. My childhood wasn't like that. I was always inside. So I think I had the chance to explore. I said, why not just do it? And then I started a tabloid. I became popular in the faculty. And since then, it's just been growth on growth on growth. So I'm glad that I'm where I am now. And I don't plan to stop here. Hopefully, I want to connect with Miss Gift too. She said, oh, I feel like working together with her since she's in the PR space, it will be very good, not just for me, but we can benefit one another as well as even our viewers at home. So yes, it's amazing. It's amazing how everything turned out.
Indeed, I'm proud of your PR skills because I myself am mesmerized already. You have a good command of English, and that's very good. Now, Miss Gift, what big project are you working on and would like him to be a part of?
Hey, thank you for keeping me in.
Yeah,
Okay, and like I said, I would really love to work with you because I love your sense of reasoning and your strategies too. So currently, I'm working on three different projects. As a project manager, I have thematic focus. Most times, I manage projects that has to do with education, politics, and business. And the aspect of education, it can be formal, can be informal in terms of skills acquisition. So currently, we have three projects we are running, not just me, my team, and I. One is on business. There's a conference coming up, which is the Benin Business Invasion. That's happening on the 10th of May this year at the Wife's Creative Hub. So the other one is in school here. That's the Game Changers. Game Changers, yeah, I don't know if you've seen this flyer. Yeah, Game Changers is an initiative that wants to bridge the gap between students and the outside world. Like I will always tell students, you don't have to wait to graduate before you start doing something. So the Game Changers is actually hosted by Mrs. Edebe Gift. So she brought me in because she sees that I love handling projects that has to do with students. So she feels I'm the right person, and definitely I'm the right person for that. So I love to engage with anything that has to do with education, students, empowerment. So the game changer is actually empowering students, making them see the need why they should have a skill or own a business before graduating. So it is actually empowering, equipping, and also elevating students. That's another project. And the other project I'm working on, making it the third project, is actually my, will I call it the most amazing project because it has
Okay.
to do with food.
Mm.
Mm. Please,
It
please,
is
please,
a food
please.
festival.
Food
It is,
festival.
yes, it is actually the first of its kind in Benin City. So it
Yeah,
is
I've never
tagged
heard of
the
something like
Benin
that.
Food and Drink Festival. It's happening
Okay.
on the 20th of April at Victor Whitefield as well. So on Easter Sunday, it's just where you get creative chefs, food lovers, family gets together to come enjoy themselves on that day. So that's basically the three projects I am working on. And like I said, my focus is on business, politics, and education. So that is the project I'm working on currently.
First in the food festival.
And please, I would like you to come on board to do
I
some flying stickers.
I would
As long
try
as
it.
I'll get food, that's all that matters.
And
So,
also, please let me emphasize
mm,
the one that has to do with UNIBEN students because this
Yes.
is UNIBEN podcast. Like the game changer, as I said, is happening on the 4th and 5th of April. That's 2 weeks' time. It
okay.
has to do with students. So I want to encourage students on this that is watching me right now. If you're a student and you want to do more, you think you can be productive. Yes, actually you can be productive. This conference is for you. This conference is put together to equip students, empower, and also elevate students. So
Yeah.
if you want to empower yourself, if you want to build yourself in terms of having a skill or starting up a business, I will urge you to come for this conference. And it's happening right here in UNIBEN, Ekewan campus to be precise, at the 500 LT on the 4th and 5th of April. Please do well to register. I don't know, maybe we'll get to share the link or flyers after the end of the podcast so you can show interest and be a part of it.
Thank you so much, Gates of BMS.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Miss Gifts.
Thank
Or should
you
I
too
say
for
Senator
having me.
Gifts?
Please don't let me clarify that again. I am no longer a student of
Okay.
UNIBEN, so I'm not in
Okay.
parliament.
So
And
sorry,
yes.
but I'll still do that.
But I think because of you guys, I will go for senatorial position in the federal level.
Okay.
We are
So
We are
behind you.
anticipating that.
Nigerians, get ready, wait for me. I'm coming to the
Vote for
Senate.
our
Senator
Lahore.
Gibbs is coming.
So, if you are just tuning in to our platform, this is UNIBEN Podcast. I happen to be your host, and I have with me here Gates of BMS, likewise Miss Gift Osage, a business specialist, a project manager, etc. So today we discussed about student development, involvement, and growth. So thank you so much for tuning in with us. And so, BAM sites, you've got yourself a wonderful PRO. Thank you so much.
Yeah, phenomenal one at that.
I think at this point, this is where we draw the curtain to a close. Thank you so much,
Okay.
man.
Thank
Nice having you
you.
here.
Same here.
I gained a lot from you.
Thank you for
I
having
Right.
me.
gained a lot
I
from
And
you.
I
agree with
actually
that.
gained a lot from Mr.
I think I
Gates.
fetched a well of wisdom from you.
Yeah.
So don't be surprised if I go into it now.
I opened the gates to
Thank you
wisdom.
so much,
That's
everyone.
true.
Thank you so much, viewers.